I do love you, Alfred Lord Tennyson. Oh, hello there. I see you've caught me at an evening where I read my good old English literature naked. Well, we are fortune tellers, as you know, and we did a song for you, our hit single, The Wailer's Lament. Tonight, I know we had said we were going to do a song called Inferno, but I thought tonight it's mellow, it's nice, I'm reading a good book. I thought tonight we could just take it easy and slow, and I could do a song and tell you a story about a man on a long road to his mother's house in the pouring down rain. And let's just see what happens. The tale starts out with a man, of course, taking his car and driving it out into the road. It was a long night, and he knew it. The rain came crumbling down, as if heaven had opened up and the floodgates were rising. He started making his way 50 miles to his mother's house. The road was slippery, and the road was windy. All of a sudden he lost control of the wheel and he spun out, heading towards one of the jagged cliffs. He thought this would be the end. He takes control of the wheel again and manages to cling to safety. He survived and continued his long drive to Mama's house. Finally, he made it down the twists and turns of the mountain and started making his way on the long road. The rain continued to pour and it became hard for him to see. Finally, all of a sudden, a man hopped out in the middle of the road and he swerved to the right, swerved to the left to avoid him. And he let the man in. He was a hitchhiker. All of a sudden the man pulls a gun to his head and says, "Don't move." Because that's what hitchhikers say when they're going to jack a car. He threw his hands in the air and thought this was the end. Luckily, the man had been taking some Tai Chi lessons and knew how to disarm a man with one hand. He disarmed the hitchhiker and knocked him out with a single blow, threw him out of the car, and continued his drive to Mama's house. It's a good guy. Finally, he reached towards the end and he was coming across a forest. Another car passed by. The other carman was an alcoholic and had been drinking a lot that night because he was an alcoholic. And so he swerved to the left and swerved to the right and was coming in an unhelped collision with our gentleman. Our gentleman swerved to the right and simultaneous so with the drunk man. And they continued this bound weave as they grew closer and closer in this epic game of chicken. A life or death situation that this man thought was going to be his end. Fortunately, the drunk man fell off the road and flew into a tree, and the car exploded into a fiery blaze. So the gentleman just looked on as the rain battered the fire, a heavenly dance almost, and he was in trance. But then he shook it off and just continued to drive. He was so close to Mama's house, he just couldn't stop. Finally, he made it to the small wooden cabin where his mama lived. He parked the car, get out. He started walking up the long hill towards his mom's front door when all of a sudden a bear flew out of the woods and attacked him with his fierce claws and talons. No, I think it's claws. Yes, it's claws, yes. And proceeded to maul the poor gentleman to his death. The gentleman finally reached his end. This has been another story from Fortune Tellers. Tune in next time as we tell another unfortunate tale of another unfortunate person. Oh, Alfred, you slay me.